Good morning, everybody. I am excited today to see you all because these weeks just seem to fly by. Today, we're going to talk about thyroid and what it takes to support the thyroid. We've seen so many people recently with multiple issues about why their thyroid is not working the way it's supposed to. So I thought it was a really good reminder. Let's just talk through why we make some of the recommendations we do, what can be some of the hiccups we see that inhibit people from having a normal thyroid response, and we'll just go through there. But again, I think it's just super important that we take a little refresher on what some issues with proper thyroid function can be. So the first thing we're going to do is talk about the thyroid gland. Thyroid sits right here, and it puts out hormones like free T3 and free T4. Some of those are less active like T4, and some are super active like free T3. Free T3 is a super powerful thyroid hormone. In fact, it's 4 times as potent as the free T4 is. So very, very important hormones that our thyroid gland makes. Now, those little hormones go out to our entire body. In fact, there's receptor sites on almost every single cell for thyroid hormone. That's why it is crucial that your thyroid levels are optimal, not just normal. We've had whole conversations about that. We strive for optimal, and there's reasons for that. Your thyroid gland is the supervisor to your body. So the thyroid is the supervisor to your body, either speeds things up or slows things down. Certainly, we don't want our body to be sped up or slowed down in the wrong ways. Thyroid gland, hormones that it releases, free T3, free T4, and reverse T3. So let's talk about some of the factors that we see that actually stop conversion of the weaker thyroid hormone to the stronger thyroid hormone. Probably stress is one of the biggest things, and it also does some other issues in the background, but that is one really big area where we see inappropriate conversion, but we also see shutdown of thyroid hormone production. Fluoride is another biggie for people who have thyroid problems. I'm not going to get into the whole fluoride or no fluoride. I'm just telling you that fluoride actually inhibits production of thyroid hormones. Of course, toxins, mercury, lead, pesticides, Roundup, shuts down the thyroid gland and its ability to produce. Autoimmunity stops production of thyroid hormone. If your body is picking on the thyroid so much, it's really hard for it to function properly. Deficiencies. If you don't have what your body needs to make thyroid hormone, you're not going to make it. So if you don't have ingredients for the cake, you're not making the cake. Same thing with our thyroid. And lastly, oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is basically damage to cells. That happens with nutritional deficiencies. It happens with lifestyle choices that damage our body. Oxidative stress is a bad thing. When I think of oxidative stress, I think of oxidized, which is rust, and rust is not good. Same thing with our bodies. We use antioxidants to protect against something being oxidized. So keep those in mind. Oxidized means rusty. That's bad in our body too. So antioxidants are super important. But all of those things we just talked about, those stop the production of thyroid hormone. Now let's talk about some things that increase the production of thyroid hormone, which is what most of our patients need a lot of. So key nutrients, we need iron, we need iodine, tyrosine, zinc and selenium, and of course, our vitamins that we always need, C, D, E, and our Bs. We do a lot of nutrient testing here. We do a lot of nutrient therapy with IV therapy as well as supplementation, because if somebody is missing these ingredients, our goal is never to just slap you on a medication. The goal is to give the body what it needs so it will respond. And many people have deficiencies in these key areas. So you'll find the thyroid's not performing well, but you'll also find that they're completely deficient in things like their iron is low because of gut absorption issues or stomach acid. So they're not absorbing iron. We'll also see an oxidative stress component, suppress their iron. You will never get proper thyroid function if your iron levels are not normal. So these are the factors that we really, really dig into when we are doing management of somebody's thyroid and how to make improvements in those areas. So let me tell you about the 4 pillars we work on when we're correcting the thyroid. The first thing is we want to build. We need those nutrients so we can build the appropriate thyroid hormones. Nutrients, amino acids, all of those help build the backbone of your thyroid hormones, the T3, T4. The next thing we do is we need to convert. So we need to take that lazy T4 and we need to convert it into that super active T3. We use nutrients to do that. There are some supplements that activate and accelerate those changes to help convert from T4 into the super active form. So conversion is very, very important in many people. Next, we need to protect. I just talked about oxidative stress. Oxidization is bad. It's like rusting. And so many factors of what we do in our daily life put added stress on our body, which creates cellular damage. So we want to protect. We want to protect those nutrients once they get in our system. We want to increase those antioxidant loads with some nutrients so that we can protect our body from the oxidized stress reactions. And lastly, we want to improve sensitivity. So we want to tell those cells all over our body to recognize the thyroid hormones because they're circulating everywhere. But if your body can't recognize them, then they're not going to react. So it's kind of like if anybody has ever heard of insulin resistance. The body maybe puts out a ton of insulin, in fact, high doses of insulin. But if the cells don't ever respond to it, there's a big problem. The same thing can happen with thyroid hormone. If there's a lack of ability to recognize the thyroid hormone, then a lack of sensitivity, it's never going to function properly as an end result. So firstly, what do we use to build? Well, here's some examples. L-tyrosine and iodine. Those help build the backbone of our T4, T3. The next thing is how can we improve conversion? Zinc, selenium, vitamin A, those are key nutrients needed for conversion. How can we protect? We increase our antioxidants. So we use things like NAC or N-acetylcysteine, turmeric, sometimes ashwagandha in the right patient. There's guggul resin and also vitamin C and E, of course. They help protect the thyroid by reducing oxidative damage. So there's also some of those supplements like the ashwagandha and the guggul that help also lower the effects of stress on our system. And lastly, what can we do to improve sensitivity? Zinc, selenium, and vitamin A. These all improve cell sensitivity to thyroid hormones throughout the body. So hopefully today I've given you a rough idea of why we go about checking the things that we do check, why it's important for a multifaceted approach to thyroid, why people who just get a simple thyroid prescription because their thyroid isn't functioning well don't always feel well, and why it is critical to work with an expert in thyroid hormone care if you're having problems. So thanks for joining me today on Living Vitality. I can't wait to see you next week. And if you have any questions or concerns, please reach out. Again, we have offices in Mansfield and Powell, and we look forward to seeing you all soon.